Hey guys, welcome back to Furniture Flipping Teacher. If you're new here, my name is Lauren and I am a full-time kindergarten teacher who flips furniture to earn a profit to put straight toward my student loan debt. Today we are going to be flipping this dresser right here that I actually got from my Nana, and so I got it for free from her. She was just doing a little changing of her furniture, so she realized that she would be able to support me by giving me this dresser. So I am planning on flipping this dresser into a nice blue color, which is a little bit different than the white that I normally do. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. My first step is going to be sanding down the top. Now this is a particle board dresser, but it's still in really good shape and it's heavy duty. So I am going to sand down the top because there is just a little bit of roughness and water damage, as well as some paint that I got on it from previous projects. I'm going to sand this down just using my hand sander. I've been getting a lot of questions, why am I not using my electric sander? Well, outside right now, it is a snowstorm, it is freezing, and I don't feel like freezing my butt off right now while the snow is coming down. So I'm just staying in the garage, and I don't like to use the electric sanders inside because dust everywhere. So I am toughing it out and using my hand sander, and that is why. So let's get to it. I'm gonna wipe the dust off, see if I need to sand anymore. Feels pretty smooth. But I'm gonna go ahead and do a 220 grit over the top. This was an 80 grit, so pretty rough just to get the base off. Now I'm gonna smooth it out really well with my higher grit sandpaper. Okay, now that the top is smooth, I am going to grab my Dixie Belle White Lightning and get to cleaning. That's like a TSP type product, so I do need to put gloves on so that I can avoid getting chemicals all over my hands. All right, mix that around. Just need about 1 tablespoon per half gallon, so I only have about a half gallon in there. I just like to estimate, and then I'm gonna wipe it down. And as always, when I use the White Lightning, I have to go back over it with a clean, fresh batch of water to get all of those chemicals off, and then I'll let it dry and be ready for painting. Remember, the main reason that you clean is just to get all of the dust off. The paint adheres better to the furniture when it's clean and it doesn't have any dirt, dust, all of that yuck stuff. So that's why you want to clean your pieces. Now, I knew where this one came from, but it doesn't change the fact that it needs to be cleaned, because I don't know about you, but I don't go around my house cleaning my dressers often. So it did have a little bit of dust, plus it's been sitting in my garage. So we want to have that fresh surface for the paint to stick to. Okay, so we'll let that dry, and while that's all drying, I'm gonna remove the hardware. The hardware on this, I thought it had 2 holes, and I'm gonna be replacing it, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to fill it. But I looked, and it actually only has 1 screw, so that's perfect because I'm just gonna replace it with 1 hardware. For these, Usually I keep the hardware, so I'll probably keep these in my stash just in case I come across a dresser or something that I want to use this again on. We'll see. Okay, hardware is off. So the top is still just a little bit rough after I cleaned it, so I'm gonna sand it down just one more time, get all the bumpies off. That's better. All right, I'm gonna take the drawers out for this one because there's some parts of the dresser that I don't want to just leave the wood in. So, well, it's not wood, but the wooden look. So I'm going to make sure, take the drawers out so I can get all of the parts painted that I need to get painted. Okay, so for this dresser, as I said in the beginning, I am going to be using a blue color, this vintage duck egg, so it's a greenish bluish color, and I'm going to be using the Scarlet brush from Dixie Belle Paint Company. I am actually going to be dumping it into another container. One of my viewers actually recommended that I do this. That way, no foreign objects get into the actual paint jug itself. I liked that tip. I'm going to spray, well, probably dump some water in there to thin out the paint a little bit. The chalked paint starts out a bit thick, but once you get some water in there, since it's water-based, and stir it up, it becomes more of a smooth consistency and is able to spread really nice. Last time I put some water in there, I went a little overboard, so I'm just gonna do little bits at a time. I'm in the process of getting a sprayer so that, or a spray bottle so that I can just do mist. But right now I'm gonna use what I have. Hopefully not overwater it. Seems like a pretty good consistency. All right, we're gonna give this a shot. You may have noticed I didn't use any primer or any Dixie Belle Boss for this project, and the reason is because, again, this is not real wood, so it's not going to bleed through, and the paint will just be able to stick to the original material without needing any sort of primer. So something that I tend to forget, but I just remember that I need to do, is to get on the insides of where the drawers may push into. The reason is because that's going to be able to be seen when you shut the drawers. So don't forget to paint the parts that you may think are not going to be seen, but actually are seen. and the first coat, just like that, is all finished up. The actual dresser part is actually almost dry, so I can get to the second coat real soon. Okay, the first coat is now dry, so I'm going to take a really fine grit sandpaper and do one swipe over the top of the dresser to smooth it out a little before I do the second coat. Now I'm going to just wipe down the dust. Okay, ready for coat number 2. When I'm doing the second coat, I always make sure to go in one direction with my paintbrush, and that gives it a nice even finish, and the brush strokes, if you end up seeing any, are all going the same way. Generally, Dixie Belle's chalked mineral paint evens out so you will barely see any brush strokes, but just in case, I always go the same way. So I'm going to let the second coat dry, and then I'm going to be able to go ahead and put a top coat on it. Okay, and now that the second coat of the paint is dry, I am going to put on the Dixie Belle Paint Company's Clear Coat Satin finish. So that is not glossy but not flat. It's right there in the middle, a perfect sheen to finish off this dresser and to give it a little bit of protectant. When I am putting on the top coat of any piece of furniture, no matter what top coat I am using, I like to use a foam brush. This just allows me to have control and to keep away from as many globs as possible. So I'm going to get started on the top coat. I finished the top coat, and while it's drying, I'm going to take the drawers and put them in there. I'm going to put them in the dresser, that way they can dry in place, and then I'll be ready to put the hardware on after that. Looking good. I'm just waiting on this little spot to dry to see if I need to do some more touch-ups because something got dropped on it. Talk about right there. There was a little chip, so I put some more paint on it. Hopefully that will be all I need to do. I am gonna go ahead and put the hardware on. I chose this white, just simple plastic white pole, and I actually got these from Walmart. So when I'm doing the hardware, I kind of just think about what colors might look nice and complement the color of the dresser. This one, I thought the white would really pop against the greenish bluish color, and that it would also make it simple. I wanted this piece to be pretty simple. So that's kind of what went into choosing the hardware for this piece. I also get some inspiration from Pinterest, other Instagram accounts. I never copy their ideas, but I do get inspiration from them. All right, the hardware is in, it's looking good. This part is still drying a bit. Again, I'm just gonna probably come back a little bit later, check on that little area. I might need to touch it up just a bit more and then put another top coat over it. But as for now, I'm just gonna let this dry overnight and then I'll be able to stage it and take some photos tomorrow. Okay, so it is finished here. So I ended up just redoing this drawer down here. I just kind of painted over it again, gave it another top coat. That way I could get that little chip out of there and the paint all looks the same. Now I am going to stage it and take some photos and post it to Facebook Marketplace. So it's kind of a kid's size dresser. As you can see, it's really small. So I'm kind of going to stage it as someone may use it in their kid's bedroom. We're going to get ready to take some quick photos here, and even the insides of the drawers, just so that they can see that they're really nice. And then now I'm gonna just go post it on Facebook Marketplace after I touch the photos up just a little bit. I never edit too much because, again, I want them to know that it is what it is and it looks nice without even being edited. So I am gonna list this at $80 on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm kind of gonna do that price because, again, it's a smaller dresser and I have sold a similar size one for $60, and so I'm just going to test the market and we're going to go for it at $80. Alright, so I actually just posted this dresser this morning for that $80. I made sure to put all the dimensions on it and explain the color and just really good pictures, and it sold within a few hours, and it actually sold to someone that I already know. So that was kind of cool. They just saw it on Facebook Marketplace and they reached out, said I will take it, and I was like, sweet. And so they're gonna come get it tonight. I am gonna be able to sell similar things like this. Lots of people ended up liking it, so I will definitely keep that in mind when I am doing more and more flips. So since I got this dresser for free from my Nana, that means that I didn't have to pay for it. And then I had a little bit of material cost go into it. We'll say about $5 to $10 for the hardware and the other materials. So that is a total profit of $70 from this dresser. So thank you to Nana, who was rearranging her house, getting rid of some furniture. Always, always, always let your family, friends, everyone know what you are doing, because they are going to be more than willing to help you out, whether it be buying your furniture, doing commission work, or giving you their furniture that they're getting rid of. So thank you, Nana. So even though this dresser was only sold for $80, that's only a $70 profit, but still, again, not everything's gonna be a home run. You have to remember that, but that's the $70 that I didn't have. That's $70 more toward my student loan debt. That could be $70 more toward a bill that you're trying to pay. That could be $70 to fill up 2 gas tanks, anything like that. $70 is $70, and it truly only took me about 2 hours to finish. Even getting lower prices such as $60, $70, $80 profit, that compounds over time, and then it goes straight toward my student loan debt or straight toward whatever you may be saving for or whatever you may be flipping furniture for. As always, if you found any helpful hints or you enjoyed the journey, be sure to subscribe down below, like this video. It really does help me out. And I will be posting more and more furniture flips on Mondays and Thursdays, so be sure to tune in to continue following along on my journey, and I'll see you on the flip side.